what I want to do is a walk through the resources that are available thanks to the tremendous work that has been done by the fast AI people. It's a small team of people with a big community that has achieved this. First of all, of course, you have the course. So it's here. So the website is easy to remember, fast.ai. So we cannot forget that. And then you come to this page, and you can see all the resources. We have the course, which I will show in a second. We have the library, and we have a community through the forums. So the first thing, which is the course. So there is several courses, and the one that is relevant for us is called Practical Deep Learning for Coders, and it has a certain number of lessons. And each lesson is actually a video by Jeremy Howard, who is the academic, but also former consultant, who is at the core behind fast AI. And then you get this environment, and you have the video. They are also available on YouTube, but that's the best way to get them. You can just follow that, but you also have, for each of those courses, you have a certain number of notebooks. So notebooks that combines text and code. For those who don't know, it's similar to it's a Jupyter notebook that allows you to see text like in a book. It's really quite interesting. And then you also can run code. And so that goes together with the video themselves. Of course, all this works based on the fast AI library. So you have here Fastbook, but that includes the fast AI library. And the fast AI library is supported by quite an extensive documentation that includes things for getting started, for beginners. You have different types. I have something in the way here. Hold on to. Yeah, that's the documentation fast AI, and it really can reach for any type of level. You have tutorials for beginners that gives you some topics. If you're already more advanced, you can go to intermediate or advanced and really look at some specific applications. You have the formal documentation with the reference. Once you understand a little more after some of the courses, you can even go deeper. And you even have very specific applications, like medical applications, that are developed by some of the people related to fast AI. But let's go back to the course and typically the notebooks. One of the questions that comes often is, what kind of environment do I need to have? How do I install the library? Which other packages do I need? Do I need to install a GPU and what kind, and so on and so on? How do we? You don't have to worry about this at this stage at all. Everything that is in fast AI can be executed without any kind of configuration on Colab. So the Google has this environment which gives you a full environment to run notebooks, and fast AI is pre-installed on this. A lot of the things are pre-installed on that, and you can import them easily. And so you don't have at this stage to install anything locally. And the advice from everyone, both Jeremy Howard, but also all practitioners, don't waste your time at this stage to do anything with that, because you're always running some kind of troubles. It doesn't help you at all to learn anything about machine learning. So just go to the Colab, or there are a few other options, but I will show you the Colab environment. And that makes it much easier. One of the reasons why it took me so long to go back in deep learning is because every time I tried with Caffe, with Keras, with Theano, I gave up before I had my environment ready. So don't do that. It's really easy. If you go to the training, it's this one. No, this one. So when you're here, you go to Practical Deep Learning for Coders. You arrive at a page. And this page will, it's a little slow from my side, sorry. I have it pre-open here. So this page will give you a note here, notebook server. You can click on Colab. And when you go there, you have here all the notebooks available, and if you click on them, they will directly open in Colab. So you will have this type of things opening. So that's the environment of Colab. So those who don't know, the only thing you have to do here is first check that you have a right environment, the right runtime. So runtime tells you whether you will have a CPU, a GPU, or a TPU. So you go to change runtime, and you said, okay, I want a GPU, because CPU will be too slow, and TPU is not used in this case because fast.ai uses the PyTorch environment and not the TensorFlow. That's the only thing you have to do. Then you connect. So here I'm already connected, and you get typically here you get 12 gig of RAM and a GPU and 60 gig of a hard disk. And then you have here this environment. You can see at the moment there's nothing because I have not installed anything. And then you have your notebook. So notebook, then what you do, there's one more thing you need to know when you start it, where you will have this, this is open directly from GitHub, so it doesn't know whether it's secure or not. So you say, yes, it's secure. I know where it comes from, run. And then it will start to install a few things that are needed for the rest of the book. And then it will ask you to give access to the Google Drive environment if you want to save something. So it should come in a second. Yeah, here. It asks them, and then the only thing you have to do is to go to that page that will confirm that you agree to give access to this particular drive to your environment. And then you copy the key, you go back, you copy it here. That's it. It takes a few more seconds, and then you're ready to run the book. So that's much easier than to install all this stuff and make sure that your GPU is compatible with the version of QDI you have in this. So don't worry about this at this stage. And then you have text. This is the book, so there's a lot of text, but there are other notebooks that are shorter. And then you have your first model. They will tell you what to do. So all these are explained in this book, but I wanted to show it in real life. For those who don't know what the notebook is, if you go to this place, you have the first notebook is Introduction to Jupyter. So it will tell you, how it works, how you will run code, how you change text if you want to do that yourself. It's all explained in there. The only thing you will have in the first two notebooks is there is one place where you have to use an image that is supposed to be installed, and for some reason it does not install a Colab. So you will have one mistake in one place. That's all. All the rest works. So you have the course. You can follow the course on these books directly from the fast.ai side. And if you have some specific questions, you can go to the documentation, which I showed before. What you also notice is that this documentation is also in the form of notebooks. So if you follow the training, you think it's too easy, then go to one of the tutorials and let's say, okay, let's take the text tutorial. And then you will see this icon on top of it. So you can open it. You can open this documentation in Colab and then run it and change it and see how it reacts. So it's a really, really user-friendly environment for those who want to tinker with things that are not sure, maybe I would have written it differently, or why if I put my code, it doesn't work. You can test within the environment of that documentation. Then the final source that is quite interesting is the forums. Once you are a little more advanced, you understand, you have done something, you try your own application and it doesn't work. Well, of course, we're here, so we can help you, but you also have other resources, including people who will have already faced the same issue or may have some good ideas for you. And you can see in this forum, so forums, fast.ai environment, you can just log in, create your account, and then you have specific categories. Some are related to the course, so all the topics that you will see, or what other people have as questions, what comment they had. But you also have other topics which are more advanced, and a few people are very, very helpful in that environment also, Most of them are based in the US, but you can see that Jeremy Howard himself is involved in that quite often. This is also one of the founders, I would say, and developer, Sylvain Guger. He's no longer, he moved from fast.ai to Hugging Face. So that means that all the things regarding transformers, all that stuff, now it will integrate much better in fast.ai in the short future because we have fast.ai people there. But you also have people like Zach here, who is very open. He's really responsive when you have questions, especially for things related to vision and for tabular data. So that's a full environment, quite helpful. Everything reachable from something easy to remember, fast.ai. And then you have positions, interesting topics in the blog, and all the things you can go to. But what I found really interesting is how easy it is to link from the video to those notebooks and even documentation without having to create your own environment. And for the last, well, I would say 2 years, I have not needed, I've done it, but I have not needed to go to my own environment. For discovery, learning, this is a perfect environment. If for some reasons, if you're in China, you do need a VPN to reach Colab. We're working on something. It seems it may be possible not to have a VPN. So when we find that, we'll let you know. But at the moment it is. But there are alternative servers that also can be used. But I think those are not necessarily free. You can try that later. But at the moment, we have experience, good experience with